Labor Minister Tony Burke. The Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras will showcase a new set of uniforms next year. Members of Australia's Defence Force have been given permission to march in uniform for the first time.
The spokesman for the Australian Coalition for Equality, Rod Swift, says the move reflects a cultural shift within the armed forces.
There's a change in culture that's occurring inside the Defence Forces, one that has sort of culminated now 20 years on after people were allowed to serve openly in the military in Australia. Of course, people served in the closet for many years before that. But I think that the changes to laws a couple of years ago by the federal government has helped precipitated some cultural change, and coming off the back of some more difficult things for Defence to deal with, including a case of Facebook abuse of a couple of gay service personnel. I think it's about the Defence Forces taking the lead about creating a much better corporate culture to keep their effective employees happy.
And what will this mean for those members of the Australian Defence Force who are non-heterosexual?
Well, it means for them they can feel included, and we know that corporate culture is really important, and Defence is trying to adopt the same sorts of best practices that other large corporations and employers in Australia are doing, and that is by including their workforce and making sure that their workforce is happy and healthy as well, but also included. And that sense of inclusion leads to a greater deal of morale, a greater deal of teamwork, and that level of sort of inclusion is only beneficial to people who might be of a diverse sexuality or gender identity in the Defence Forces. So I think it's a really good move by Defence. I know that the Air Force, for example, has rolled out a diversity handbook to their employees to make sure that they're improving their culture, and I think that cultural change is something that is, as they're beneficial for Defence, and can only improve the cohesiveness of our Defence Forces.
Are we still seeing instances where those serving in the Defence Forces feel that there is discrimination based upon gender or sexuality?
I think no matter what steps you take to improve the culture inside an organisation, there will always be isolated pockets and incidences of people that aren't included, people that are excluded, whether it be on the basis of sexuality or gender or race. So I think that you can't ever eliminate that culture, but you can certainly say and draw the line on that particular issue and make sure that people understand that there is either a zero tolerance approach or a mitigation of those particular policies, right through from, say, initiation into the service through to a regular training and regular renewal of that particular policy. I think that is really, really important, that a cultural change is driven by not only having it occur at the start of somebody entering into a workforce, but having it constantly renewed and constantly visible to that particular workforce.
Rod Swift speaking from the Australian Coalition for Equality.